3 hip mobility mistakes that often keep your low back stiff. Today I'm going to be talking about, yes, your hips and your low back, and 3 mistakes that I often see time and time again, especially with people who are really busy trying to keep up with life. And these are things that if your hips are stiff, well, guess what? Your low back is probably going to suffer as a result too. So I'm going to be sharing with you today how you can help that. Of course, I'm Dr. Matt Bradbury. Thanks so much for tuning in. Here we are at One Life Family Chiropractic here in Georgetown, Ontario, Canada. And I love interacting with you. I love sharing the message of good health. Take a moment to subscribe, like this video so that more people can get the message too, and so we can interact some more in the future and get these great tips. So just some context for you. Remember that your hips and your low back are designed to share the load. If your hips are really stiff, well then guess what? You're probably not going to move as well. And when you go to pick things up, you may get poor movement patterns. And often, if you don't move as well, this can lead to premature breakdown and you not being able to live and play full out and live the life that you want to live. Especially if you're a busy parent or you're trying to keep up with a couple of kids. I got 3 kids myself who I want to keep up with. Or, you're trying to keep as productive as possible at your job and run and play the sports and do the things that you love. So this is key. And remember, when you look at the big picture of things, your hips and your low back have to work together. So I'm going to teach you 3 mistakes that you may be making right now, and you're not going to want to miss these because you're going to want to correct these as soon as possible. So mistake number 1 I see is stretching without reducing some muscle tone first. And what I suggest is getting yourself a ball like this. You can even get yourself a softball and just something a little bit bigger and make sure it's firm. And what I like to do, I'm going to show you over here, is start by working on the surrounding musculature of your hip. So your glute med, your TFL, all those small muscles, I want you to hang out and breathe. You're probably going to have some tender points, especially if you notice yourself stiff and not moving that well. So breathe. When it gets a little bit easier, roll into the next area, breathe. And you'll notice when I'm working, the top of my glute right here, into the side of my leg. This area is going to be really important. These muscles, well, guess what? They often need some work in terms of strengthening as well. But you can start by addressing that first mistake, which is helping to reduce some muscle tone first by using this ball. And of course, you can work on your hip flexor as well, just like this. You'll notice I got the ball right there underneath the front of me. And what I'm doing, I'm going to start with a straight leg. And you may find more tense when you bend your knee and put some more tension through that muscle. But breathe again. When you get a little bit easier on that trigger point, move to the next area. Work through those areas. You may spend 1 to 3 minutes on each of them. Mistake number 2 is ignoring your hip rotation. Remember, your hips were designed to move. And oftentimes we start to lose that rotation if we don't practice it. So one of the key things that I love doing is just with an upright torso, get on the edge of a soft surface just like this. And I'm going to give a little bit of pressure here, keep my torso upright, and I'm going to lean forward, giving myself some pressure on my knee. And I'm going to hold this for anywhere from 1 minute to 90 seconds, breathe. And you may find one a little bit stiffer than the other. One may need some more work than the other, but I'm going to work on both sides and I'm going to hang out there breathing 60 to 90 seconds on each side. And of course, as you work on your hip rotation, I think the 90-90 is a good position to work with. You'll notice you work with this one, trying to use your hands, keep your torso upright, hanging out. I may spend 20 to 30 seconds like this before I rotate over and switch sides. And you may notice, again, one side is a little bit more stiff than the other. Spend some extra time there, loosening up. Work on getting that knee down and just focus on your breathing. And you can work 20 to 30 seconds on each side and go back and forth 2 to 3 times. So don't forget that hip rotation, which is often one big mistake that people make. And that last mistake that I often see people make, well, guess what? They spend all this time stretching, working on their mobility, and they don't spend enough time getting back to the strength part. Remember, they may get more range, but they need to increase the strength to that range as well. Strength is great. It's protective, especially as you age. It's an investment in you in terms of keeping yourself strong and healthy, keeping yourself cognitively functioning better, but also helping to reduce the risk of falls and protective in terms of lean mass around your hips. So strength is so important. And the 2 exercises I want to show you, keep it simple. I'm going to show you some single leg work as well as some glute work with some low back work. Number 1, start with the bird dog, just like this. You can do all one side. You can do 6 to 10 reps. Or you can add that level of difficulty where you alternate and go back and forth side to side. Great body weight movement, great way to help in terms of low back conditioning, as well as conditioning your glutes to keep things strong. Now, number 2, one movement I really like is just the reverse step lunge. This reverse step lunge, I want to get you out of this position upright and teach you to use your glutes more. So I'm going to actually have you put your hands on the back of your head. And what I'm going to do from the side, just like this, I'm going to keep my torso upright. I'm going to step back so that my hips and knees go to 90, and I'll alternate back and forth. And with this, you're going to work in the rep range of 12 to 15 reps per leg. So you may step back and forth 24 to 30 times, helping to keep your glutes, your hips strong, and help you coordinate more strength in that lower body. So there you have it. 3 big mistakes people often make that lead to low back stiffness. And you know what? I want to share here what I like to call the X factor. And you can do all this stuff, which are things that I recommend and things that work really well. But guess what? If you work to address the health of your spine and nervous system, because remember, what controls the whole show? Your nervous system, in terms of talking to your muscles from your brain, talking to your organs, helping with how you heal. If the nerves are irritated, that's going to be a factor in your performance and healing. So as a corrective chiropractor, of course, there's going to be areas that you may feel, but there's also going to be areas that you have no idea about. And this system has to work together. And oftentimes, guess what? I call this the X factor, because people are doing the exercises, doing the stretches, and they end up in my office. And after a full examination, we find that maybe they have nerve irritation and they start addressing the health of their spine and nervous system. It helps give them that extra edge to get back on track and get back to play full out. So your nervous system and your spine are going to be vitally important for your health and healing and overall function. So consider this. If you need a referral to a corrective chiropractor near you, of course, I'm happy to help. Mission extends far beyond my 4 walls here. I will leave you with that today. Of course, if you enjoyed hanging out with me, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this one. That's the one way, that's my one ask in terms of how we get the message out there to help other people understand that more function equals more health, and spinal health is vitally important. Anyways, remember, you're far stronger, more resilient, and resourceful than you may have led to believe. Bye for now.